Hello, thanks for joining me, astrologer Patrick Arundell, for your in-depth weekly horoscope forecast for week commencing the 26th of July. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Every time I drop a video, you'll get an alert on YouTube. Also, if you'd like to embrace more serious astrology and ascend above your zodiac sign forecast, why not check out my special offer package of a 12-month forecast and a character analysis based on your unique personal data. No two charts are the same, and there's 30% off at the present. Please see the link below. Hello Aquarius, and welcome to your in-depth forecast for week commencing the 26th of July. The great news, Aquarius, this week is that Mercury moves at a bit of a brittle location on Wednesday and into your sector of relating. If you have been discussing something of a partnership matter, or you've been getting to know someone, or trying to clarify something in a business situation, this is great. It helps you to bring your usual detachment to bear in a really positive way, but the flow of communication can really pick up as this week enters its middle phase. But also, all through the week, the Sun is forging a beautiful angle to Venus. Now, Venus is the planet of love and attraction, but it's also what influences money. And the 8th house is very much about longer term money. So whether you're thinking about working very closely with someone in a business partnership, or it's offering services to another company or organisation, or you're wanting to take that next step of commitment in a personal involvement, then Venus's semi-sextile to the Sun is really very, very positive. So I think this and Mercury moving on Wednesday are lovely for you. Now, Jupiter, of course, is the planet of fortune, and broadly it spends 12 months in each zodiac sign every 12 years. But it's going through a little bit of a strange journey, and recently it has been in the sign of Pisces, which for you is about everyday money. But on Wednesday it reverses back into your sign. Now, Jupiter is a big beast, and of course it's slowing down can have an impact on us. But I want you to think that if there are other strands in your situation that haven't gone at quite the pace you want, or you haven't had that legendary luck that's supposed to be linked to Jupiter's transit through your zodiac sign, it can still come. It can still come this year. So right through to the last 3 days of 2021, Jupiter is now in your sign. Initially in retrograde, but keep the faith. If you're doing something that's different or creative or fresh, the rest of this year, the last half of this year, can be incredibly productive for you. Now, of course, the other thing that happens this week is that Mars, the planet of passion, also moves into the sign of Virgo. This happens on Thursday, so it joins up with Venus. Venus and Mars in the 8th house. Do you know, this is hot and heavy and steamy stuff. For us Aquarians who are a little bit detached about the old concept of romance and intimacy, this is a push to be much more in touch with what really excites. The 8th house can be about challenges. So it could be that you could be drawn, if you're single, to someone who isn't necessarily a walk in the park, who's someone who does push back a little bit, but that makes them all the more enticing and appealing. So if you do encounter somebody with a very charismatic or intense way about them, that could be something that really interests you in the weeks ahead. But I think Venus and Mars being in the 8th house at the end of this week could bring some very good news around some finances for you. Now, on Saturday there is a quarter moon, and it occurs in your sector of the home and the family, and it's interacting in a right angle with the Sun in your sector of related. I just feel that the 4th, 7th house axis for you could mean that somebody you're quite close to may be a bit out of sorts, a bit insensitive, or rather needy, or two people you're fond of may need you to mediate between them. All sorts of different stuff can happen with this quarter moon. But as the week draws to a close, Mercury is edged forwards and meets the Sun on Sunday in the sign of Leo. They are conjunct. Now, some traditional astrologers would argue that in a natal horoscope, if someone had this particular influence, that the Sun completely dominates the energies of Mercury, and almost to the point that the Mercury energies don't shine. I think I would say to you that your thinking around relationships, or your skills around relationships, can really shine as this week draws to a close, and also as week commencing the 2nd begins. But I'll tell you more about that next time. And the other thing to remember is that Venus and Uranus forge a really electric and very positive connection as this week draws to an end. And Venus in your 8th house of long-term loop, intimacy, passion, sensuality, and Uranus in your sector of the home, it may be something around a property matter, because Venus, as I said before, can be about money. It is the ruler of Taurus, which is where Uranus is, and therefore something tangible can emerge at the end of this week which really thrills you. So I think in general this can be an extremely positive week. You are still dealing with the full out, or at least the energy from the full moon in your sign that occurred in the week before, but that was softened by the energies of Jupiter too, and that was just saying to you, don't be too compromising around relationships. So I think the lovely energy you have this week is you can meet people, you can connect with people, you can compromise, give and take, forge harmonizing interfaces, but at the same time the full moon is just encouraging you not to be too availing to the other person's viewpoint, that you lose your sense of identity. But in general, a very positive week for relationships, connections with others in general.